Have you ever found yourself in a crowded room, surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet feeling utterly and profoundly alone? Have you ever nodded along to a popular opinion, a shared joke, a collective outrage, while a quiet voice inside you whispered, "This isn't me"? This feeling, this dissonance, is a hallmark of the modern condition. We are more connected than any generation in history, yet many of us feel more adrift. We spend our lives curating our profiles, polishing our public personas, desperately trying to earn the validation of the tribe. We are told that belonging is the ultimate prize, that fitting in is the key to happiness. But what if this is a profound misunderstanding? What if that ache of loneliness in a crowd isn't a sign that you are failing to connect, but a signal that you are trying to connect to the wrong thing? What if the path to true contentment, to unshakable inner peace, lies not in finding your place within the herd, but in deliberately, courageously, stepping away from it? This is the Stoic case for being alone. Not a case for bitter, resentful isolation, but for the nourishing, strengthening power of solitude. It is an ancient prescription for a modern malady, a philosophy forged in the crucible of the Roman Empire by men who understood the crushing weight of public opinion, an emperor, a powerful senator, a former slave. Their wisdom, 2,000 years later, offers us a radical and liberating alternative: stop trying to fit in. Start trying to stand, with integrity, on your own. First, we must reclaim the word alone. Our culture has poisoned it, conflating it with lonely. Loneliness is a state of lack, a painful awareness of an unmet need for connection. It is a poverty of the spirit. Solitude, however, is a state of richness. It is the deliberate choice to be with the one person you can never leave, yourself. It is not an absence of others, but the presence of self. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, a man who knew both the gilded cage of the imperial court and the desolation of exile, understood this distinction perfectly. He wrote that we should mix with the crowd only to the extent that it doesn't destabilize our inner character. He saw the masses not as a source of wisdom, but as a source of contagion, where our own reason and values could be easily eroded. He argued that the more we surround ourselves with the noise of others, the more we risk losing the signal of our own inner voice. You can be desperately lonely at a party, and profoundly content on a solitary walk. The difference is not your physical location, but your internal disposition. The goal of a Stoic is ataraxia*, a state of serene calm, of inner tranquility. This state cannot be granted by others, and therefore, it cannot be taken away by them. It is a fortress built from within. And the ground on which this fortress is built, the training yard for its garrison, is solitude. Why is the pull to fit in so strong? It is a deep, evolutionary instinct. For our ancestors, exile from the tribe meant certain death. To be cast out was to be left to the wolves. That primal fear still echoes in our DNA. It manifests as social anxiety, as the terror of saying the wrong thing, as the desperate need to be liked, both in person and online. But the Stoics ask us to apply reason to this fear. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world, spent his evenings alone in his tent on the battlefront, writing to himself. His meditations are a testament to the struggle against this very instinct. He constantly reminds himself to disregard the chatter of the court, the fickle opinions of the mob. He writes, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do. Only what you do. Think of what a radical act this is. To make your own actions, your own character, the sole arbiter of your self-worth. To untether your happiness from the ever-shifting winds of public approval. When you try to fit in, you are outsourcing your sense of self. You are handing the controls of your emotional well-being to people who, as Marcus Aurelius would point out, can barely manage their own. You become a reflection of a reflection, an echo of an echo, hollowed out by the need for external validation. The Stoic path is to become the source. To be the bell, not the echo. But how? How do we cultivate this inner resilience in a world that screams for our conformity? The Stoics were not abstract thinkers, they were intensely practical. They gave us tools, mental exercises to build what they call the inner citadel. The first and most crucial tool is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, who began his life as a slave, taught that the root of all human suffering lies in confusing what is up to us with what is not. What is not up to us? The opinions of others. Our reputation. Whether people like our posts, invite us to their parties, or approve of our life choices. To invest our energy in controlling these things is, in his words, the behavior of a fool. It is like trying to command the tide. What is up to us? Our thoughts. Our judgments. Our intentions. The character we choose to build. The principles we choose to live by. This is our true domain. When you stop trying to fit in, you are simply practicing the dichotomy of control. You are withdrawing your energy from the chaotic, uncontrollable realm of public opinion, and reinvesting it in the one place where you have absolute sovereignty, your own mind. You shift your focus from "what will they think of me" to "what is the right thing to do?" What is the virtuous path? This shift is the foundation of freedom. The second tool is building that inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius envisioned this as a place of refuge within his own mind. A fortress of reason and principle to which he could retreat at any moment, no matter the chaos raging outside, be it a military disaster, a political betrayal, or simple daily irritations. Solitude is where we draw the blueprints for this citadel. It is where we lay the foundations, stone by stone. In the quiet, away from the pressure to perform, you can ask yourself the fundamental questions. What do I truly value? What principles will I not compromise? What does it mean for me to live a good life? Each honest answer is another stone in the wall of your citadel. Each time you choose to act on those principles, even in a small way, you are reinforcing its structure. The more time you spend in solitude, getting to know your own mind and strengthening your own resolve, the more impregnable that fortress becomes. Eventually, you can walk through any crowd, any social situation, and remain peacefully within your own center, unswayed and undisturbed. So, what are the fruits of this solitary labor? What rewards await those brave enough to step away from the crowd? The first is clarity. The world is a cacophony of competing demands for your attention. Adverts tell you what to desire. Social media tells you what to envy. The news tells you what to fear. Your peer group tells you what to think. It is an endless deluge of noise. Solitude is the act of turning down the volume. In the silence, for the first time, you can begin to hear yourself. You can untangle your own thoughts from the received wisdom of others. You can examine your beliefs and see if they are truly yours, or if you simply absorb them by osmosis. This self-examination, this dialogue with your own ruling principle or hegemonic is the primary work of a philosopher, and we are all called to be philosophers of our own lives. The second fruit is authenticity. When you are no longer performing for an audience, you are free to be yourself. The masks can come off. The energy once spent on impression management can be redirected towards genuine self-expression and personal growth. You start to align your outer life with your inner values. This integrity, this wholeness, is a source of immense and quiet power. You are no longer a fragmented collection of personas, one for work, one for friends, one for family. You are simply you, consistently and unapologetically. People are drawn to this kind of authenticity. It is magnetic. This leads to the third, and perhaps most surprising, fruit of solitude: better relationships. This is the great paradox. By learning to be happily alone, you become a better friend, a better partner, a better colleague. Why? Because you no longer need anything from others. You are not approaching them out of a desperate need for validation, to fill a void within yourself. Your cup is already full. You can now engage with people from a place of strength and generosity. Your relationships become about genuine connection, shared values, and mutual respect, not about social climbing or ego stroking. You choose your company carefully, not based on who is popular or influential, but on who is virtuous, who challenges you to be better, who you can have a real and honest connection with. You trade 1,000 shallow acquaintances for a handful of deep, meaningful friendships. As Seneca advised, we should seek out those who will make us better, and whom we can make better in turn. Quantity is the currency of the crowd, quality is the currency of the wise. Finally, on the deepest level, the Stoic practice of solitude connects us to something far greater than ourselves. The Stoics believed in the logos the universal reason that pervades all of reality. They believed that everything is interconnected in a vast, cosmic web, a concept they called sympathia star. When we are caught up in the petty drama of fitting in, our perspective shrinks to the size of our immediate social circle. Who said what about whom? Am I in the right group? Do they approve of me? These concerns are infinitesimally small. In solitude, we have the space to zoom out, to contemplate the stars, as Marcus Aurelius urged, to think about the vastness of geological time, to reflect on the fact that every person who has ever lived has faced their own struggles, their own fears, their own mortality. This cosmic perspective doesn't diminish our lives, it dignifies them. It contextualizes our problems and reveals their true, often trivial, scale. By detaching from the immediate tribe, we begin to feel our connection to the human race, to nature, to the cosmos itself. We realize we are not just a member of a small group, but as Epictetus said, a citizen of the world. Our sense of belonging expands beyond the local and the temporary. We find our place not in a fleeting social hierarchy, but in the grand, unfolding tapestry of existence. This is the ultimate belonging, a connection that can never be threatened by gossip or social exclusion. So, the invitation is this. Do not mistake this call for solitude as a call to misanthropy or reclusive bitterness. It is the opposite. It is a call to fall in love with your own company, to become your own best friend. It is a training regimen for the soul. Start small. Carve out pockets of silence in your day. Go for a walk without your phone. Sit in a room and do nothing but be with your own thoughts. Write them down without judgment. Get to know the person you are when no one is watching. Yes, it will be uncomfortable at first. Your mind, accustomed to constant distraction, will rebel. The ghosts of old anxieties and the fear of missing out will surface. This is part of the process. Greet these feelings with the calm reason of a Stoic. Acknowledge them, examine them, and let them pass. They are external impressions, not your inner reality. To stop trying to fit in is an act of quiet rebellion. It is the decision to honor the truth of your own soul over the noise of the crowd. It is the realization that a ship is safest in harbor, but that is not what ships are built for. Your soul was not built to be safe and hidden, conforming in the harbor of public approval. It was built to navigate the vast ocean of life, guided by the fixed star of its own integrity. The world does not need another copy. It does not need you to sand down your unique edges to fit into a pre-made slot. What the world needs, what your relationships need, what you need, is the full, undiluted, authentic version of you. And to find that person, to cultivate that strength, to hear that voice, you must first be willing to stand, and to listen, alone.